First up, lurking in the shadowy corners of our list at number 10, is none other than Danny Masterson, a shining star of yesteryears, known for his notable role as Stephen Hyde on That 70s Show. An emblem of teenage rebellion on screen, Masterson now finds himself tangled in a decidedly adult and frightful fiasco off-screen. The troubles began back in 2020, when Masterson was charged with 3 horrifying counts of alleged to have occurred in the early 2000s. Like the mythical Lernian Hydra, a ghastly creature with many heads, each charge represents a terrifying beast Masterson must face. Each accuser a head of this legal monster, their testimonies an inescapable venom. Masterson, or should we say Mr. Hyde, appears to be in a dire situation. Not unlike his fictional namesake, Dr. Jekyll's malicious alter ego from the chilling tale penned by Robert Louis Stevenson, Masterson finds himself in the throes of a transformation. Once adored for his portrayal of the lovable rogue, he now stands before us as an alleged real-life villain. The path ahead seems to be shrouded in darkness, with no conceivable exit. Next, we set our sight on the rhythm of the night, a tale of rhymes turned to wrongs. Let me introduce you to Tory Lanez, a rapper known for his lyrical prowess and smooth melodies. He has enticed many an ear with his musical enchantments, but the tune has turned tragic. The saga began in the scorching summer of 2020, when Lanez found himself in hot water for more than just his fiery tracks. The stage was set in Hollywood Hills, an after-party as vibrant as the stars in the sky. But like a shooting star, the night met a violent end. By sunrise, Lanez was facing charges for allegedly shooting fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion. Megan, a star in her own right, rose from the ashes of that frightful night standing strong. She was vocal about her terrifying ordeal, sparking a wave of support that echoed louder than the most resounding rap beats. Like a gallant knight facing a wicked dragon, she bore her scars and dared to speak the unspeakable. As for Lanez, the spotlight that once celebrated his talent now exposes his alleged misdeeds. The sharp fangs of justice gleaming ominously in the moonlit courtrooms are ready to strike. For him, the precipice of prison looms closer than ever. From the stardom of the stage to the gloom of the gavel, this twisted tune continues to play out. His lyrics, once celebrated, are now scrutinized in the harsh light of the law. The once adored artist is now an alleged assailant, and the spotlight never seemed so blinding. As our grim tale unfolds, Tory Lanez finds himself in an arena far removed from the music he once commanded. 8th on our list is a man of infamy, a figure more well known in the adult world than the conventional world of celebrity. Here we find Ron Jeremy, a man whose exploits on the adult film stage are as numerous as the charges he now faces. Jeremy made a career out of the explicit pushing boundaries and norms in an industry that thrives on such behaviour. However, it seems that he failed to distinguish between the world of fantasy and reality. His off-screen actions, alleged to be as unseemly as some of his on-screen roles, have landed him in the unwelcome spotlight of the law. Facing numerous charges of sexual assault, the adult film star finds himself at the centre of a narrative far more sinister than any scene he has ever filmed. He is being accused by multiple women, each echoing the other in their recounting of their dreadful encounters. The man who once revelled in his notoriety now stands indicted, a shell of his former self, his past exploits haunting him like a relentless spectre. The courts have become his new stage, but this time the consequences are real, the outcomes life-altering. 7th on our spectral scoreboard is a tale of a small-town girl turned star, only to fall from grace in the most shocking of ways. May I present to you Alison Mack, once adored for her role as the sunny and lovable Chloe Sullivan on the popular TV show Smallville. The plot twisted when Mack traded her script for a role in the real-life drama of the NXIVM group. Instead of autographs, she was signing up recruits for a group later exposed as a horrific sex trafficking ring. Our once beloved starlet transformed from a beacon of hope into a recruiter for a den of iniquity. Midway through our gruesome list, dear viewers, we come upon a tale steeped in rhythm and blues. We find ourselves at the doorstep of R. Kelly, a man who once charmed the world with his dulcet tones, but now faces a discordant melody of his own making. R. Kelly, once hailed as the king of R&B, spun stories of love and heartache in his songs. His voice echoed through stadiums, capturing hearts worldwide. But alas, the songbird seems to have a shadow as dark as the night, and the melody now has a chilling undertone. Accusations of heinous acts of sexual abuse have been swirling around him like a storm. Claims that date back decades have resurfaced, a haunting refrain of a nightmarish melody that refuses to die down. The victims' voices, once stifled, now reverberate in the courtrooms, painting a grim portrait of the acclaimed artist. As we delve deeper into our spine-tingling saga, we arrive at the halfway point where we unearth Ghislaine Maxwell. A socialite shrouded in shadow, she is known less for her own life and more for her close association with the infamous financier Jeffrey Epstein. Maxwell, who once graced the most elite circles and lived a life of privilege and opulence, finds herself at the epicenter of a horrifying narrative. Her name is now inextricably linked with one of the most notorious criminals of the century, Jeffrey Epstein. Fourth on our chilling countdown is a story of rhythm turned to ruin. Meet YFN Lucci, a rap artist who rose to fame with his lyrical tales of street life. Little did his listeners know that life would imitate art in the most tragic way. Lucci, whose real name is Ray Sean Bennett, once rapped about the struggles and challenges of life on the streets, but the beats of his music have now been replaced by the pounding gavel of justice. Charged with murder in Atlanta, he now finds himself trading in his rhymes for prison time. This tale of misfortune began when Lucci found himself implicated in a drive-by shooting. From the flashing lights of the stage to the glaring lights of a crime scene, it's a dramatic transition that no amount of fame or fortune could shield him from. Creeping closer to the top of our eerie list, we find ourselves at number 3. We turn the pages to the story of Lori Loughlin, a beloved TV actress who played a wholesome character in the well-loved show Full House. But as it turns out, dear viewers, the house was not as full of honesty as one would hope. Loughlin, who played the endearing Aunt Becky, a beacon of integrity and warmth on the show, found herself in the middle of a plot twist more suited for a gritty drama than a family sitcom. This was a role she never auditioned for, a defendant in the infamous college admissions scandal. The scandal, as twisted as any Hollywood thriller, saw the rich and famous use their wealth to manipulate the college admissions process, ensuring their offspring were admitted to the most prestigious institutions. Among the perpetrators, our dear Aunt Becky was a key player. Convicted for her part in this macabre play of deceit and privilege, Loughlin's fall from grace was swift and severe. The woman who was once welcomed into homes across the nation as an emblem of family values found herself in the cold, unforgiving clutches of the court. Climbing to our penultimate position, we find a creature that has traded fame for infamy, glitz for guilt. It's none other than Harvey Weinstein, the disgraced Hollywood mogul who once strutted on red carpets but now shuffles in shackles. Weinstein, the man who once stood tall among Hollywood's elite, wielding his power and influence to make and break careers, now stands accused. His stage, once adorned with stars, is now a cold courtroom. The roles have reversed. The mogul is now the miscreant, the star now the suspect. Convicted of multiple counts of sexual assault, Weinstein's kingdom of celluloid dreams has crumbled, revealing a nightmare realm of abuse and exploitation. The man who once orchestrated standing ovations is now the object of public scorn. He's swapping the red carpet for the cold concrete of a jail cell, a stark descent from his once lofty heights. And finally, at the pinnacle of our lurid list, we have a figure whose fall from grace has been as dramatic as it has been shocking. The once beloved comedian and America's favourite TV dad, Bill Cosby. Cosby, who brought laughter and warmth to millions with his wholesome brand of humour, finds his legacy tainted with a horrifying truth. The spotlight that once highlighted his comedic genius now starkly illuminates his heinous crimes. Convicted of sexual assault, Cosby's star has not only fallen from grace, it has been obliterated. The laughter he once elicited is now replaced with gasps of horror and disbelief. No punchline can undo his dark deeds. No fame can shield him from the firm grip of justice. And thus, dear viewers, we end our grim countdown. A stark and chilling reminder that no matter how bright the star, how grand the stage, justice always has the final bow.